Have you ever woken up one day and realized your gains are gone? Now imagine waking up in the Joseon dynasty as a royal noodle stick, Choi Young-jik, an ordinary young adult from the Republic of South Korea who studied food and nutrition during college, just to be a well-rounded fitness trainer. I first learned bodybuilding in the military, being in a frontline unit with no recreational activities. Naturally, going to the gym became the only solace for me. You're my son? Even after returning to college, I didn't give up on exercising. Why is a physical education major taking a class on early Joseon history? Sure, he's from the history department. As a result of dedicating more time to exercise rather than focusing on my major, no matter how you look at him, I don't think he's from the history department though. Certificate of Professional Sports Instructor name, Choi Young-jik. Birth date, August 18th, 19XX. Qualification rating, Class 1 qualified category, bodybuilding in accordance with Article 9 paragraphs 5 and 6 of the Enforcement Decree of the Physical Education Promotion Act and Article 18 Clause 3.2 of the Enforcement Decree of the same Act, emphasizes that the holder of the certificate has qualification in lifestyle sports coaching. Anyway, it was thanks to that I got my Class 1 certificate. It was a rare occasion where I had a celebratory party with my friends. If there was anything different than usual, was it me drinking alcohol, which I normally don't do for the sake of my muscles? Should I watch some new tube before gonna sleep? The reason for the great King Sejong's short-lived life? That's easy. Isn't it because he doesn't exercise? While we're at it, I wonder how life as a health trainer in Joseon would be like. Then 106 Ian's history will be rewritten. Then that will really be fun. Grand Prince, you have to wake up. It's so loud. Where's my phone? Huh? Wait a minute. Cock-a-doodle-doo? I must have drank a lot. What is that? Aha! A hammock? I must still be half awake. Huh? One fateful day, he opens his eyes and finds himself no longer jacked, but scrawny, soft, and alarmingly smooth-skinned. Grand Prince, you have to wake up now. Why did I suddenly become an anchovy? Anchovy is a slang to describe someone who is so skinny. No, this can't be real. Good morning, Grand Prince. Hey, my name. What is my name? Come again? Your personal name is Yu, and use Suji as your courtesy name. Then is my father's birth name Midu? That's right. King Sejong the Great. If my father is King Sejong the Great, and my name is Yu, in history he was better known as Suyong Grand Prince. How come I ended up in the Joseon period? All my senses are too real. It seems like I really came to the Joseon era. Your Majesty, Grand Prince Jinyoung has arrived at court. Since I'm still called Grand Prince Jinyoung, this must be before 1445. It's obvious to be nervous as there is nothing familiar about this situation. But thinking about the man I'm about to meet right now, my heart is pounding like crazy. Historically greatest and popularly most revered figure of South Korea. To think I'm going to have an audience with the great King Sejong. As a history student, this is such an overwhelming moment. Right, you're here. Look how charismatic his voice and gasping AR dash. Gasping? Otak, I summoned you here because I had an order for you. What are you staring blankly at? Are you not awake yet? Is this Sejong the Great? Huh? What is the matter? I apologize. Translating. As father has shown a lot of insight in taking care of the national affairs, I was wondering what kind of decree you would bestow upon this dull son. That's why I failed to hold my manners. This automatic translation function is interesting. Don't call yourself dull. I adore your talent, so I am going to assign you an appropriate task. We're going to rewrite the comprehensive reflections to aid in governance. Go to the Hall of Worthies and rewrite it in big letters. Take the Hall of Worthies. Receive your command. Hall of Worthies. Who would have thought I'd come to the Hall of Worthies in my life? If the Grand Prince is the one who will fix the outline, you will be able to see words that are full of power. Please stop flattering me. Grand Prince Anpyeong's writing is better than mine. Ho ho. How humble of you. By the way, it's not just words. I don't have any problem understanding words either. As if the memories of this body's original owner are still here. Reading into this, the letters in this book aren't that small, though. But the great King Sejong said that he couldn't see it well. Member, the great King Sejong. According to the eyes of a 15-year trainer, Index King Sejong weight, kg, gender skeletal muscle mass male body fat, percentage ratio dangerous daily carbs physique, severely obese BMI, above 35. On top of that, his face looked too swollen. Even though it was a cool summer morning, he was forming sweat beads on his forehead. In summary, diabetes or impaired glucose tolerance, a previous stage of diabetes, is suspected. The history after this was as obvious as looking at fire. Not long after this, the great King Sejong would pass away. King Munjong would undergo 3 years of mourning twice in a row, then rapidly deteriorate and die. In the end, Danjong would rise to the throne. And after that, no, I will never let it happen that way. How unusual of you when you used to go to the mountains every day and enjoy hunting. Crown Prince Yi Hyang, eldest son of the great King Sejong, future Munjnog. This man is the 5th king of Joseon. And my brother too. What brings you here, brother? Father wants me to check the books he's about to read. Don't worry about me, and continue doing your business. The books he's about to read? By any chance, did brother notice it too? Brother, after reading the books for the first time in a long time, some books have fonts that are so small that it is difficult to read. I felt that the order to rewrite them in larger letters was truly appropriate. It seems like there's another intention behind your words. Was it too obvious? Were you aware of father's farsighted vision too? It was only a guess. You always acted like a know-it-all usually, but you changed a lot in a short period. When did father's illness begin? I felt the signs appear since 1 year ago, but there's a difference with ordinary farsightedness. It doesn't seem like he simply can't see things close to him. No one knows about this yet, so keep your mouth shut. Yes, brother. That went over naturally, right? Your Highness, have you been well? Yeah. Is it because I was too nervous while talking to him? The back of my neck feels pretty stiff. 000101. Ah, so refreshing. Grand Prince, what were you doing? If your neck feels stiff, you should give it a massage. But why are you moving your whole body? They don't know about stretching. In this era, there are physicians who give massage, but the effect isn't that significant. It is natural because they don't know the exact anatomy or the shape and connection of the muscles. Let's make something up in moderation. I accidentally sprained my neck while riding a horse the other day. Oh my, I remembered that I had a hard time with my neck stiffening, and when I flailed around my back, it was relieved. Now, why don't you follow me since it's effective? Breathe. Turn around. Breathe out. The next day. To think we don't need to press our neck hard. Who would have thought the body would feel this comfortable just by moving the shoulders and back? My neck, which was as stiff as a marble stone, is moving. At this rate, we won't need a physician. The modern stretching method taught by Grand Prince Suyong quickly spread around the hall of worthy scholars. As it relieves the acupoint of the neck, it was called the whale stretch method. But the biggest worry of Grand Prince Suyong, Choi Youngjik, didn't vanish. Is anyone here? Come out and greet your guests. Oh my, isn't this His Highness the Grand Prince? What brings such a respected man to this place? I'd like to buy some oil. Something like sesame, not perilla or paulownia tree oil. Other than sesame oil, we have beef tallow. I can even offer you some horse tallow right away. Collect 5 mal of the poorest quality oil and give it to me. Just now, he bought heartleaf, seaweed, and angelica root from the herbal medicine store. But why is he buying so much oil this time? I have no idea what he's thinking about at all. If my memory serves me right, Grand Prince Suyong would die after suffering from severe dermatitis. Until I find a way to go back to the modern time, I need a countermeasure. Even if it's a simple severe dermatitis, it's something fatal in this era. I must make it as soon as possible. We have arrived at your abode, Your Highness. Yeah, great work. If I just resolve this problem, I can... You have been visiting the streets very often recently. That is correct, my wife. Wait, there's something I'd like to test out after looking at a book at the Hall of War to Wife? A few days ago, you were so focused on hunting, and now you are mingling with lowly people. It makes me wonder what you're thinking, dear. Right? I had a wife. I was looking for an object that was used to wash one's body during the old Song dynasty. Calm down. I must be even calmer at times like this. Is that so? Yeah. I thought it'd be worth a try. The thing I need the most after coming to the Joseon era is soap. Even modern people suffer from various skin diseases if they exercise while wearing clothes that have not been washed properly. What if I did bodybuilding in this era, where soaps aren't around? Full of germs, I'd definitely suffer from various skin diseases. I did make a soap in the gym where I used to work before. Next, fitness body shape correction physical therapy P.T. It was a poorly made soap because the building owner grandma said that she couldn't trust soaps in the mart, but for the most part, the production method of a soap is actually simple. All of you can make it by adding water mixed with ashes from burned rice straw to natural olive oil, mixing it with herbal powder and heating it. That's it. With this method, I should be able to create soap even in the Joseon era. Your body gets dirty when you get oil on it. I never would have thought oil would be one of the ingredients to wash the body. I plan to try out several things. In the book, it is said that all dirty water that has soaked into the clothes will leave, and that it removes old dirt too, so how good of an object would it be? I really hope that 'tis the case. My wife? What's with this couple? Are they not in a really good marital relationship? I can see the saponification reaction, so it's a success for now. If I want to find the perfect ratio, I have no choice but to keep testing. It doesn't look visually pleasing at all though. I wonder how good its cleaning power is. I must test it out on me first. Oh, it's still very lacking, but its cleaning is quite remarkable. It smells savory. But there's sesame oil in it, the smell isn't really it. If I just resolve the scent problem and make massive production possible, won't I be able to sell it in bulk to the Ming Empire too? The next problem is the great King Sejong's health. Even King Taejong couldn't succeed in getting him to exercise. To think I, the second son, who is not even the crown prince, can succeed in getting King Sejong to exercise when he didn't even listen to his own father. It seems like my little Yu is having a lot of random thoughts because he has nothing to do. Would you like to lead the Jurchen people in the north together with Kim Jong-seo? Or how about holding a post in Murung Island *? An official post in animal husbandry in Tamra Island * does not sound bad either. In the end, to cure obesity I must win the great King Sejong logically. My body is a problem too. I can't teach bodybuilding with this kind of body. Even a stray dog would have more muscle than me. In order to increase my persuasive ability, I must reach 400 kilograms of Big 3. What if I just make bodybuilding into an entire field of study? How far am I imagining things? I'd make a book containing this theory. Isn't there a principle of rising in the world and gaining fame? So, improving the body I inherited from my parents should count as filial piety, right? A book that records the study of setting oneself up and preparing one's body. Therefore, the name will be Conducting Oneself and Preparing the Body. Hiya. Ugh. Ha. Good heavens. Whoo. Pull-up bar is a great exercise to lose weight right now. Great fit. Perfect fitness. What's with these gifted genes? Dips 29 reps. Push-up 82 reps. Even the dragon flag? Most of his muscle groups are somewhat natural, but the core and pulling strength are beyond average. To think I can do 15 pull-ups with this belly fat. As expected, the bloodline of Songai, Taejo, doesn't lie. Your Highness, I've brought the things. Finally, the small barbells, dumbbells, are here. I shall pay the price right away. It's a relief that you like it since it was our first time making them. Haha, Grand Prince Jinyoung has finally lost it. To think he'd pay 80 bags of rice for those cast iron blocks. Is there a way for us to figure out what those high in status think? Even martial families don't need that much iron. Don't tell me he is gathering soldiers. You, watch your words. We should just get our hands on their pennies. Let's quickly go. I haven't been satisfied working out barehanded all this time. How long has it been since I lifted weights? Even if he's royalty, he's going too far. Are you just going to sit by and watch, Your Highness? Forget it. Bangshil. That's enough. He even washed his body with oil. 80 bags of rice is a few years' worth of living cost for a farmer. To think he'd spend such a fortune on iron blocks. He's been very much into hunting for quite some time and treating you as if you didn't exist, and he's now into weird things. What sin did Our Highness commit in her past life that I told you that's enough. Mom. That day we met. He is awesome. I don't need to be attended to. I'd like to be alone. I'd like to sleep early today. I don't need to be attended to. I'd like to be alone. Is that the thing he calls soap? He washes his body with this thing? But still, should I give it a try? So comfortable. Soft. Moist and so fragrant. What is this foam? Awesome. As expected, one must lift weights to feel like one has worked out. Who's there? Oh, it was you, my wife. It was nice to be able to remove grime with that thing called soap. Did you try it out too, my wife? But the problem is that the smell of sesame oil is pungent. I'd be mistaken for an oilman's wife if I washed myself with that every day. How about I use pig fat or beef tallow? Shem. But both of them are equally expensive. It had become a luxury enjoyed only by Joseon nobles, let alone something that can be sold to the Ming Empire. I thought about how to solve it easily. I think the scent will improve if you mix it with Euodia tree oil or camellia oil. What do you think? Oh, that's it. Those definitely smell better than sesame oil, and are easy to get too. Thank you, my wife. It's nothing. A poor village in the Gaichin area. To think the Grand Prince Jinyong would visit this shabby place. I remember your face clearly. You joined last year's autumn hunt as a chaser, didn't you? Wasn't your entire body covered in scars trying to drive the deer out of the bush? I remember how hard people worked at that time, so I'd like to reward you at least now. I was going to give you silver tokens, but it seems wrong now. I have decided to provide your family with half due of sesame oil, 2 mal of rice, eggs, chicken, and other items twice a month. You must make sure to use them for your family. Good heavens! How would we repay this kindness? You don't have to, but you must report your children's height and weight twice a month. Absolutely, Your Highness. Over the next 2 days, Suyang promised to provide food to 20 children, and ordered the children's weight and height to be recorded. Half of them were provided with an appropriate diet focused on protein, and the other half were provided with a diet focused on carbs and fat. Afterwards, he planned to record the changes in the children's body shape and exercise ability, and use them as evidence. Little you were talking about that useless stuff again. Ugh. Father, please take a look at these records. Such perfect theory. These records would certainly be of great help in improving King Sejong's eating habits. Will it be possible? I cannot read letters, but I can recognize figures. 30 chiak, 20 chiak, 10 chiak. 1 chiak equals 30.3 centimeters. 1 round piece of iron weighs 30 gun. But isn't that the weight of 3 cauldron lids? You want to put an iron bar on it, right? That's right. It should be good enough to put around 4 of them at each side. Got it?
Pardon?
Then, 8 of them. Isn't that a total of 240 gun? To be honest, it needs to be able to withstand a bit heavier weight. I'd like it to withstand more than 300 gun of weight. I'd like to order one more thing. The length will be around 3 chiak. Roll up a steel plate and make it into a rod shape to make it lighter. I'm doing this out of pure curiosity. I wonder if using the technology of this era, I can create a rifle. His Majesty will be very delighted to see your virtuous heart. It seems Grand Prince Suyang's image was a complete idiot before I possessed his body, but it has changed for the better, hasn't it? Then, things will return to the right path. Didn't I pull myself together and put things back the way they were? Haha, but Ma Ileong, you. Trainer eyes activated. You have quite the physique, don't you? Scanning. Amazing shoulders and triceps, brachii, sturdy lat muscles, forearm muscles, pardon? I've been called strong bones since I was young. He just can't become a government official because he's the child of a concubine. But he has the perfect talent for bodybuilding. I'd like to teach you to nurture your body as my first disciple, Happy Face. If you succeed, there won't be many people in Joseon whose body can compare to you. PLE in Jasuno's body compare to you. A disciple? Your Highness, how could I repay this kindness? Haha, kindness, you say? Just believe in me. Ma Iliong could not even imagine his future. Your Highness the Crown Prince. You're here, you. Yes. Even when you look like you've lost weight, on the contrary, your upper body has gotten bigger, and your eyes look brighter. I'm even more curious about why you asked to meet me. It seems like my face color improved while making a new training method in place of hunting. Truthfully, the reason why I asked to meet you is because I want you to take a look at this, Your Highness. A new training method? And what's that? It's called soap. Please try it out. To think old dirt would come off so easily. What a truly magical object. But the price of camellia oil is certainly high. No. If only expensive oil had been used, it would have cost about 4 mal of rice, but by mixing it with Avodia tree oil and others, the price only amounts to around 2 mal of rice. I see. Would you lend me a brush for a moment? Right, this should be good enough. Grand Prince Jinyong has created an object called soap that can wash away old dirt in order to prevent the books from getting dirty. All officials must wash their hands with soap in the morning and evening. The way I see it, soap may be expensive, but people with money will certainly buy it. But since the efficacy of this item is unknown, no one may want to buy it. Are you making every official in the government office try the soap? If they wash their hands once, won't they want to wash their body too? Is it like the free trial promotional strategy used in the modern world? Once soap spreads widely, and a lot of people create soap for their own use, I plan to impose a tax on them. That way, another source of tax revenue will be generated for the government. Simply using soap to generate tax revenue. What a truly adaptable idea. You, as expected from the son of the great King Sejong. No, is it Munjong of the future? Are you sure these items were ordered by Grand Prince Jinyong? We're not lying at all, my lord. Of course you won't. Because if you lie, you guys know better than anyone what will happen. Take care, my lord. Melt away the items that Grand Prince Jinyong ordered at once.
Pardon?
It's just right before the decided date, though. The damage we suffer will be indescribable. Are you saying that mere money is more important than our lives? Hurry and do it, will you? We never met Grand Prince Jinyong, the second prince who couldn't become the crown prince. Spent his wealth to gather a large amount of iron, and was also busy training his body all day. Grand Prince Jinyong, you're finally revealing that dark ambition of yours. Have you heard that story? When I washed my hands with a thing called a soap, the ink disappeared in an instant. Do you think it washes away only the ink? Even the facial grease disappeared right away. It's truly an odd item. However, do you know who created soap? HM? Obviously, it's His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, isn't it? Hold on to your hat. It's none other than Grand Prince Jinyong. What? But I thought he was only a troublemaker with a knack for miscellaneous matters. What an unbelievable story. 6, 7, 8. Round 2 continues. 9. Phew. So good. 10. 10 reps of bench press with 120 gun, 45 kilograms. This progression makes me think of this body as a bodybuilding deity who has descended to earth. You increased the bench press weight again, Your Highness. How can I reduce the amount of effort I put in when training the body is an act of filial piety? Jer best. The current appearance of my weights reminds me of the rusty barbell in the army gym, but they are still quite usable. There were some issues in the making process, though. The rest of the big barbells couldn't be completed due to urgent matters, Your Highness. I will return all the silver tokens you paid. I heard he never misses deadlines. Was it difficult because of the new design? Now it's your turn. Am I? I think I'll be crushed by this weight at once. Didn't one tell you, body keeps seeking new stimuli? You need to use both your upper and lower body to perform a proper bench press. That's it. And again, you were right. This is a truly mysterious phenomenon. I know that he always had an agile body, but it's impressive that he is trying to increase his strength to this extent. In this state, he might rival General Wunbong. Wunbong, you say? Your Highness. They say that from a young age he accumulated military prowess, gaining fame under His Excellency Kim Jong-seo. Wouldn't it be nice to create the conducting oneself and preparing the body method exclusively for soldiers someday? I can win in terms of pure strength, but the moment he lifts a weapon, there'll be no chance for me at all. Kea. Boom boom. What is that? Who is it? Banging on Grand Prince Jinyong's door like this? What's going on? So don't you know this is the Grand Prince Jinyong's residence? Ma'am. Ha! Knowing it well, and yet acting like this. You must have fallen into it too. Your Highness. Startle Kook. How could someone of my physical strength, from the very office of the Inspector General, be pushed away so easily? Don't you dare open your dirty mouth carelessly. Hey, Your Excellency Isukchi, if you recklessly touch my people, I won't stay quiet. Your Highness, how shameless and unaware of your own sins you are. With just one bar you are holding 20 sabers can be made. And you have 20 of those. Oh my, that's enough. It's been a while since the hunting competition last year, Your Highness. What on earth is going on? What's going on? Don't you know this is the Grand Prince Jinyong's residence? Ma'am. Ha! Knowing it well and yet acting like this. You must have fallen into it too. Your Highness. Startle. Kook. Damn. This damn guy. What are you doing? Take your hand off. How could someone of my physical strength, from the very office of the Inspector General, be pushed away so easily? Don't you dare open your dirty mouth carelessly. Hey! Oh my, that's enough. It's been a while since the hunting competition last year, Your Highness. What on earth is going on? Your Excellency Isukchi, if you recklessly touch my people, I won't stay quiet. Your Highness, how shameless and unaware of your own sins you are. With just one bar you are holding 20 sabers can be made. And you have 20 of those. What are you going to do? With 400 military weapons? And is that all? Just 7 months ago you were someone not interested in the subjects and now you're actively providing them aid. Do you want to use them in an upheaval? What a sophistry. You can't consider that as evidence. You brought along soldiers to my house on mere suspicion. Even if you are someone from the office of the Inspector General, this is a blatant abuse of power. Don't you dare bring an unsubstantiated claim. It's a rumor-based denunciation. Did you forget? We have always worked this way. Don't worry. The truth will be revealed soon. What if what you claim isn't the truth? I'm afraid that's unlikely to be the case. Until the truth is revealed, the interrogation of those around Your Highness won't end. Detention and interrogation, huh? Even if I say it's not true, they have no intention of stopping. A typical target investigation. I haven't done anything wrong since possessing Grand Prince Jinyong. Have I? And it's hard to know what happened between the real Grand Prince Jinyong and Isukchi. Damn. What Ami supposed to do with this? What is happening here? Elder brother. I heard negative rumors about you, so I came by in person. Why, Your Royal Highness the Crown Prince. Although I believe that you had figured out a method for training your body, don't get too close. If that person dreams of an upheaval, who knows what he might do? That person? Watch your words. Inspector General. He's not that person, but my younger brother. It's a common law for those who are unsatisfied with their relatives to use the wealth privately. You try to convince me about these devices. Even if one is family, the sin of going against it cannot be forgiven, and the same is true for someone who defames my sibling. Isukchi, too should risk your neck. You too should risk your neck. It's great that you are here. I needed to talk to you anyway. Bring me the conducting oneself and preparing the body. Yes, master. The reason why I made a regimen and trained my body was to put it to use for something really important. First, please check my regimen. Sen, what is so important about it that you made a book? So you have concluded that nurturing a good body shape is an act of filial piety. Well, that isn't wrong, but I don't understand why you need such huge devices. Why would you go through such an inconvenience just to make one regimen? I think we should talk privately about. You also know that our father's health is deteriorating with each passing day. I shouldn't say this, but I'm sure he has a disease. It's just his age. You are overthinking it. If you really have medical knowledge, tell me what his illness is. Yes, Your Highness. You must have noticed that these days, his face looks feverish and he sweats a lot even when it isn't hot. I'm sorry to say this, but I suspect he has high blood sugar. The cause of high blood sugar is excessive accumulation of yang qi. It's likely due to him consuming an excess of food beyond what is necessary. He doesn't even indulge in physical activities, so there is no way to release the yang qi. What's more, the high body temperature has affected his eyes and worsened his eyesight. Is that why you have been out to help people? I heard you were making a record after distributing food to the children. Is that act also related to our father? Yes, I've concluded that a few bowls of rice and eggs are enough to make someone obese. What's going to happen to our father is quite obvious. That's why I am trying to make a record related to eating and working out, and make our father see it himself. Inspector General, get your men to step back. It seems like Prince Jinyoung didn't have a bad intention. We can't do that. Monitoring government administration, correcting the wrong, checking corruption, and arresting those involved is the mandate of the Office of Inspector General. Apologies, but I dare to remind His Majesty, the Crown Prince, that the King wouldn't want the Office of Inspector General to be weakened by power and unjust. All the outstanding officials of the Office of Inspector General ranging from senior rank 6 to junior rank 3 have gathered here. We also have a young officer who was recently inducted. Just because it was an order of the prince, how can we simply back out without knowing any details? What would the young officers learn from this act? I am the chief officer of the Office of Inspector General. If you still want me to step back from here, you would have to kill me. Office of Inspector General. Your Highness, you shouldn't take this matter lightly just because he is your brother. You are going to be the next king. Muster up your resolve and show the world how strict the law of this nation is. Isukchi, that man, didn't just get to that position by luck. Inspector General, now, this isn't just about me and the Office of Inspector General. This has become a trial to test the capability of the Grand Prince. I don't know about other things, but I think you have to explain why you need so much iron and so many devices. Since push has come to shove, yes, Your Highness. I will show you myself. I will prove it with my strength. Too much yang accumulated qi has in father's body and is now manifesting as the signs of aging. If we remove the excess qi through working out, he will get better. But we all know that he doesn't like moving. So what if we show him a strength he has never seen before? Don't you think it would motivate him? For example, showing the strength of Xiangyu. If I can't convince them, it won't work for father either. So, I understand. Listen, Prince Jinyoung was inventing a regimen for the people's health. Those irons are his inventions to help that. You mean he really uses those to train his body? Those lumps of iron that look heavier than most of the cauldron? I got a great idea. The reason why he is being suspected is because we don't understand how all those are used. Then, if he shows you how he trains himself with those, he can't be falsely accused anymore, right? What do you think? Anyone who would like to come forward? Let me challenge him. I have never lost to someone in strength. If he is found weaker than me, it'll prove that everything he said until now was a lie. Warm up the muscles. Let's see the muscles of our soldiers. Ready. Start. This training is called bench press. It's for training arm, chest, and shoulder strength. So in the end, all I have to do is to lift it with my strength, right? You are talking too much, Your Highness. Are you worried that I might win? Huop. Yuuk. Oh shit, why is it so heavy? It's heavier than it looks. But right now, the honor of the Office of Inspector General is in my arms. Kuh. Oh no, I'm out of breath. Can't lift it up. Oh, you were so good, as expected of senior. Then what about Prince Jinyoung? Ha, what is this? Ha, you have been acting tough. But that's all you got? Amazing. My brother. What is this? How can that be? 7, 8, 9, 10. Puff puff. That was a really great performance. Your Highness. By this is absurd. Who is invincible in the Office of Inspector General? Lost in a contest of strength. In the physical fitness training, the number of repetitions depends on the goal of the training. And I can lift up to 175 gun at once. What? Nonsense. Even if you won the contest, you can't just say such nonsense. That's enough. Let's go. We are leaving for today. But that doesn't mean you are out of suspicion. I will keep doing my job with all my effort. So he is going to keep his eyes on me. I will do the same. Anyway, I'm out of the immediate danger. And now elder brother is aware of King Sejong's illness. I will also take my leave. Okay, Your Highness. Take care. Elder brother said he is going to help me with the making of the conducting oneself and preparing the body. This is really making the best of a bad situation. This could have ended up worse. I am glad it was resolved well. Sorry, it must have surprised you. I should have been careful and have discussed this with you earlier. No. I'm ashamed for not realizing your good motive. I won't let this kind of a thing happen. Ugh, my legs. You are amazing. My wife. Oh my gosh. It's him. I'm dying from embarrassment. Wait. Dear. You can't do this in the middle of the day. How could you? Let's not do this here. We must go to the bedroom. What is this atmosphere? Don't tell me. I'm sorry about what happened. I will take full responsibility. Forget it. It's not like we didn't gain anything. What? Among those devices was an unusually thin and hollow item. Tiny Chongtong. It looked like a miniaturized and elongated Chongtong. I have observed that he is interested in weird objects, so I'm sure he has ulterior motives. What if he is improving SE Chongtong to develop a new form of artillery? A year ago, during the hunting contest, I clearly saw the true colors of that beast. That very grand Prince Jinyong is creating conducting oneself and preparing the body as an act of filial piety? Ludicrous. I will be watching you to uncover what you are hiding in that dark mind of yours. While Prince Jinyong was going about his daily life as usual, after a few days, news came that the smithy had resumed the construction of the devices. 3 months after. What did you just say? I wasn't feeling well, so I went to see a physician and he said I'm pregnant. I think I got pregnant that day. Pregnant? My kid is 3 years old. I don't have the time to work out. Beer. Trust me, bro, your life will change if you exercise. Post-workout freshness is the ultimate nectar of life. Sigh, it's all nonsense. I don't want to get nagged by a bastard who couldn't get married even until the age of 40. What are you saying? Don't you know I am married? I even have 2 wives, Barbell and Dumbbell. A few days ago, I had such a life, but now, I'm a father. Pregnant? Did you say pregnant? Dear, we must inform His Majesty the King of such great news right away. It gives me immense pleasure to see you so happy, my dear. Sasak. Let's go together and offer incense to deities. I have to be healthy in order to give birth to a healthy child, so I was also thinking about learning, conducting oneself and preparing the body. We can start with simple posture to not wear you out. Take in a slow and deep breath. Stretching isn't enough for safe birth. After giving birth, the crown princess passed away due to childbed fever. That is how common maternal fetal death is in this era. I think simply using alcohol for disinfection can help a lot. I guess I'll have to make that too. Your Highness, we have a guest. You said it's called sojigori. I had no idea a sojigori would have such a peculiar shape. The design was developed by me. I want to obtain pure alcohol, so I am using this thin and elongated tube part to condense the alcohol vapors into dew. Bring me all the soju inside the house. Why yes, sir. Now that the distillation is done, I have to check for the purity of the alcohol. There are 2 cups of the same weight. I have filled 1 cup with water up to 80% of the cup. The relative density of alcohol is roughly 0.8. So if the alcohol that I filtered is heavier or lighter than the water in the other cup, it would mean that I failed. It worked. Disinfectant production. Successful. A lot of time has passed since I came to the Joseon era. I often thought, what if I suddenly returned to the modern era while working out, but such a thing didn't happen. I even wondered what happened to the present where I originally lived. Although these questions remained in the back of my head, after my child was born, I was completely absorbed into my life in the Joseon era. That's how fast the time passed by. Prince Jinyong has made a great achievement recently. He has distributed soap among the civilian populace, enriching the royal treasury, and invented a disinfectant that helps with the wound. Thank you, Your Majesty. I still have a lot to learn. I don't know how to react to your compliment. You don't have to be so humble. I will give you 200 niangs of silver as compensation for the cost incurred for making soap. Not long ago, Prince Jinyang had his first child. This is truly a blessing to our royal family. What's more, the princess returned to her usual life within a week. As such, the effectiveness of the disinfectant has been proven. From now on, the disinfectant will be used to treat all newborns and mothers. Your wish is our command. I thought you were just like my painful finger, but you have matured. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, Your Majesty, Your Majesty. Year 1438, March. Hurry, call the physician. King Sejong's illness suddenly got worse. Thirst makes him drink a lot of water and his eyesight has deteriorated to the point where he reads books by placing them close to his eyes. Even the decoction has had no positive effect. Elder brother, has father ever commented on his symptoms? I mean things like seeing a hazy mist or some insects floating around. It's what my grandpa mentioned when he suffered from diabetes. No, he never mentioned such symptoms. He usually said, "It's frustrating that I can't see things far away." In that case, the situation isn't serious yet. This symptom may be a temporary consequence of overwork. What a relief. Still, we can't breathe easy. Retinal degeneration or cataracts are incurable in this era. If nothing is done, as history says, a year later, the great King Sejong would lose his eyesight due to complications. Mother's birthday is this September, right? I will create an opportunity to change father's mind that day. What on earth are you planning to do at her royal banquet? In conducting oneself and preparing the body, there are 3 exercises that use the heaviest weight: squat, bench press, deadlift. Together, they're called the Big 3 exercise. At our royal mother's birthday banquet, I will perform with a total of 1,000 gun in the Big 3 exercises. 1,000 gun in the Big 3 exercises? Doesn't this weight sound ridiculous? The palace guards, who were ordered to try it, failed to lift even 600 gun in the Big 3. How miserable! Your Highness. Right now, I'm only at 900 gun. Achieving 1,000 gun is challenging even with all my strength. But I will make sure to succeed for father's sake. If that's your wish, I will also do my best to help. The current conducting oneself and preparing the body lacks a lot academically. I will make it a book that father will be satisfied with, so you must also devote yourself to your studies. Huh? Devote myself to studies? Didn't you write conducting oneself and preparing the body out of filial piety? At least you should incorporate the content of all 13 classics. And as the author of conducting oneself and preparing the body, you also need to thoroughly understand them. 13 classics. Main Confucian scriptures and manuals from the Ming dynasty. Hold on. The only scriptures I inherited from the Grand Prince Huang's memory are the 4 books and 5 classics. Is the difficulty suddenly increased to the 13 classics? But I'm doing it all for the great King Sejong. You can count on me, elder brother. When I achieve 1,000 gun in the Big 3 exercises, we will raise the topic of conducting oneself and preparing the body in front of father, and make sure he experiences your method. For the sake of our father's well-being. Cheers. Now I have to take on something really crazy. Increasing weight in the Big 3 exercises by 100 gun in 6 months is already a questionable thing to do. But even if I succeed, this body, laden with fat, won't be a compelling argument for the great King Sejong. I guess to flex my muscles in all their glory, I need to drop body fat by about 8 gun. And the best way to burn calories in this era is, of course, hiking. I hope this body's boundless potential will come handy, because from now on all I can do is special training. From early morning, hiking to working on conducting oneself and preparing the body. I don't even have the strength to turn a page. Man, I'm going to die. Memorizing all this sounds absurd. The cause of this situation. Haha, father's blood flows in your veins, doesn't it? I finished the 3 classics in just 2 weeks, so you, considering your remarkable talent, should do it in 1. Don't tell me you have complaints, you? Napa cabbage, cucumbers, beef rump, rice, oatmeal. Is this really acceptable for you? Oats are something eaten to unavoidably fill the stomach. I have to prove my filial piety through the conducting oneself and preparing the body at mother's birthday. How much she must be worried, seeing my extra flab. I'll eat like this until my filial piety is proved. I'm only ashamed for not understanding your great ambition, my dear. Fearing that the beef rump might be bland without seasoning, I salted it. Apparently it was all for nothing. Are you there, Bangshil? Take away the table that has been served for my dear now and bring a new one. Make sure never to add seasoning to the food my dear will eat in the future. Never. Blurg. Hugh, these muscles. They're still not at full power. These mountains. They forge not just the mind but the muscle. Endurance from the climb, power from the pump. Soon, I'll be unstoppable. Each rock I conquer adds a fiber to my legendary quads, trekking the mountain trail, forging calves of steel, and time flew by quickly. With every climb, I ascend closer to my peak form. Queen Sohyun's birthday banquet. Look at the fast body of this humble me. Little Goo's horseback riding talent has reached a new level. How commendable! Ho ho, your turn is the last even among the royalty. Everyone thinks you're gonna show off your body like street performers. Elder brother, have you mentioned conducting oneself and preparing the body to anyone else? When I told the crown princess in the morning that you carried 300 gun, she didn't believe it and even got angry. So, just make our plan work out. And then, father will surely show interest in conducting oneself and preparing the body. This is a thing I ask of you. Next is Grand Prince Jinyong. Royal Mother, I sincerely offer my congratulations your birthday. The fact that I exist in this world is all thanks to the divine kindness of His Majesty the King and Your Majesty the Queen. With this in mind, I have created conducting oneself and preparing the body, which means a healthy discipline for self-establishment development of a fit body. And, why you, that huge iron object behind you, what exactly are you trying to show? I have prepared something small just to repay your kindness. This humble me is overwhelmed with myriad emotions. What I show you today is something bestowed upon me by both of you, my royal parents. I present to you this outstanding body. Queen Sohyun's birthday in the year 1438. The ceremony that altered the entire course of Joseon's history. Have ye never seen such a body in my life? Is this person the same Grand Prince Jinyong we know of? Well then, let's begin. Begin what? What is he trying to do? Let me show the world what real muscles can do. Behold the final form. Those plates. Aren't they even larger than when I struggled with them? Every rep, every drop of sweat was for this moment. Come on. Big breath. Whap. Ha. Full power. Lift. Wait, what? Where does he draw his strength from? His strength is incredible. Bang. Phew. I don't know what I just saw. How much does it all weigh? The iron bar is 40 gun, and the cylindrical plates combined are 240 gun. Altogether, it's 280 gun. 200. Next is what I call squats. It involves lifting a big barbell on the shoulders, and using the power of the legs to sit down and stand up repeatedly. Of course, this technique trains not only the legs but also the buttocks, waist, and lower abdomen. It's dangerous. Stop it right now. With 340 gun, I will now perform squats. Control it. Now up, up. Feel the earth tremble. This is squat power. The only thing heavier than my squat is my destiny. The path to greatness begins with the squat rack. 340 gun. He stood up. Physician Yang Hongsu. Why yes, Your Majesty. Is that possible with a human body? The servant doesn't know either. But I speculate. It seems to be related to the so-called healthy discipline. The last activity is called the deadlift, and for it, the heaviest big barbell is used. You mean it isn't over yet? Even a heavier one? That's absurd even in words. Father, excuse me for speaking up. I'm concerned that you's waist may be injured. With your permission, I will take some measures for a moment. It's still not enough. Time to break the record. I didn't come this far to be average. Let's break history. I can feel it. My blood's boiling. The time is now. This weight is 400 gun. Father. Mother. Since you bestowed on humble me a body capable of using such might, I will continue to properly nurture it and fulfill filial piety. I will continue to properly nurture it and fulfill filial piety. Beyond ordinary madness. If I hadn't lost weight, I could have handled even more than 400 gun. But this weight is overwhelmingly heavy for my current body. Although the waistband makes it a bit easier, this plan is still totally absurd. Achieving 1000 gun in the big 3 exercises I just 2 years. Well, it can't be helped. I have no choice but to use the sumo deadlift. I have no choice but to use the sumo deadlift. Every rep has led to this moment. Witness it. The ascension of a gymmer god. I'm breaking this with my soul. It's going up. Is it really possible for that heavy mass of iron to be lifted solely with one person's strength? Is it really possible for that heavy mass of iron to be lifted solely with one person's strength? End faster up Natasai. He did it. He really did it. Oh, Royal Mother. Thud. Even the stone floor couldn't handle the weight. It shattered on impact. That wasn't a drop. That was a declaration of dominance. Even the ground knew it wasn't worthy to bear his strength. Not a word was spoken. Only the sound of jaws crashing open in disbelief. My dear, our Royal Mother, you've been using those irons daily for 2 years, so your hands are like this now. What do you mean by that talk of filial piety? In all my life, I've never seen a greater manifestation of it than yours. Seeing you train your body to this extent makes my tears flow incessantly. Mama, I know that those who have mastered martial arts may show visible muscles on their abdomen, but to have such distinct texture. Look at how the muscles inside are moving. Indeed, you have personally proved the conducting oneself and preparing the body regimen. You've truly worked hard. I have one thing I want to ask. What is the purpose of the healthy discipline you demonstrated on this occasion? To establish myself and perfectly prepare the body you both bestowed upon me. Perfectly prepare the body, huh? Is lifting 1000 gun like you did today the standard? In that case, I'm afraid that conducting oneself and preparing the body might persecute those lacking strength. There's nothing like that. I started this discipline to get rid of the excess fat hanging around my abdomen. My strength only naturally increased during that process. In just 3 months, my limbs moved smoothly, and fatigue disappeared. Yes, I know that you and the Crown Prince authored books on this. I will read it and distinguish between right and wrong. Let's discuss conducting oneself and preparing the body at the palace later. Your royal grace knows no bounds. Besides, your royal title, the Grand Prince Jinyong, doesn't seem satisfactory. Since you invented the healthy discipline and reached its peak, I suggest taking Su from Suiangbu to name you the Grand Prince Suyang. His strategy has begun to take orbit. There's no stopping it now. This book is truly extraordinary. Even though you lend him a helping hand, since when did you read widely to become this knowledgeable? This humble son of yours has also read this book and marveled many times. I simply compiled the regimen you've managed to create into these books. Unlike other books, there's a diagram he specifically put at the end of volume, alright? Today I'll check just this one. Changes in eating habits and body, as seen through the growth records of children in Gaichin. Gathering and analyzing data when making policies is quite like me. If you cook rice with 1 mal of grains, an adult can eat it for 10 days, while children can fill their stomachs for twice as long. On the other hand, overeating results in excess fat. A spoonful of sesame oil every day overflows children's bodies with strength. Meanwhile, a person with a full stomach gains over half a gun of excess fat in a month. Excess fat. Excess fat. How was it, elder brother? What did father say? Well, he decided to give the conducting oneself and preparing the body a try. Is that true, elder brother? As you can see, I'm fully prepared. Today is the first day, so I will only explain the posture. However, with national affairs overflowing at the moment, it was suggested to wait for an auspicious day before continuing further discussions. Huh? What auspicious day is he talking about when, after a few months, his eyesight will deteriorate to the point of blindness? I'm tired today. Bring me a plate of grain syrup. There is a saying, The hardest part of a fit lifestyle is getting started. If the great King Sejong won't come to me, I have no choice but to visit him myself. You, wait for me. Your Highness. What is this? There are do's and don'ts in the palace. Please stand up. Force me out with all your physical strength. If you can, Grand Prince. Don't do this. His Highness will be arriving at the palace soon. What's the mess going on here? Creating a disturbance in the royal palace in broad daylight? Have you forgotten your dignity? Father, there is something that really needs to be discussed. I'm certain it's about conducting oneself and preparing the body. Isn't it? Besides, I've already read it. And I'm sure I express the will to experience it when I have time. I shed tears of gratitude for Father's immense generosity. However, the right approach to conducting oneself and preparing the body is starting from today and doing it consistently. Let Tart X Tising. I Sam I'm Bus. Tell me, Grand Prince Suyong, did you write conducting oneself and preparing the body? Suspecting that I had an illness? I meddled because signs were appearing. It says in books that the most proper thing is to treat the illness in advance. Physician Yang Hongsu, what signs of illness do you see in me? The only matter of concern is that Your Majesty the King perspires profusely and drinks a lot of water. It's obvious why the great King Sejong brought along the physician. Did you hear what he said? He says there are no special signs of illness. He must have already read the annexure diagram in conducting oneself and preparing the body, and have been seriously contemplating his illness. It's just that he hates exercising. Therefore, all we need is one final blow. Considering the symptoms, I guess that Father's illness might be similar to Sogol, so I tried to put my body in a similar condition. What? Huh? When? I've put my body into a condition similar to Sogol. What? Sogol is a disease wherein an excess of yang qi destroys the body. As we know, sugar is also used as a medicine to make up the yang qi. Eating too much grain syrup or taffy can cause temporary Sogol. As a result of experiencing Sogol this way, I often became extremely thirsty and drank up to a bucket of water. Moreover, my vision often went dark due to excessive fatigue, and I fell asleep on the spot. These symptoms, are they the same as the ones you experienced, Father? Of course, I was lying when I said I made myself fall into Sogol. I just recited the knowledge about diabetes from the modern world. To convince the great King Sejong, of course, I can lie this much. When did this bastard do that? Unknown to him, he even got his brother deceived unintentionally. If I master conducting oneself and preparing the body like you say, how long will it take to cure Sogol? 5 days. Very well. If I see no improvement in 5 days, I shall charge you with the crime of deceiving the king. Of course, Father. Father, you need to ride the horse a bit faster. At this rate, my whole insides will be twisted. Father, you must not crouch your body. That. He's saying that again. He'd nag at me if I got the position just a bit wrong. Please straighten your body and strengthen your back. How long do I Havito keep doing this? Father, an hour has passed, so we can wrap up here. Very well. That's the most delightful thing you've said. I was talking about the warm-up. Ha! Ha! Father, you must exhale when exerting your strength and inhale when relaxing. Ha! Ha! I get it. Doing 24 repetitions of that should be enough. Please press your back firmly against the bench. Please mind the width between the legs. Please don't lean your upper body forward. Blah 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 blah. Your Majesty, we will bring the royal meal. Oh right. Hurry. Bring it here. What is with this rice texture? Eating horse feed would be better than this. Ugh. Is anyone there? Bring the royal chef here at once. Yes, Your Majesty. Is the royal chef here? Take these away at once and bring me my usual food. UNE, what is this nasty joke you're playing? Where did the meat in the soup go? And why are there only tofu and slices of radish? And the one piece of meat here has no fat at all. I can't even eat it. Just throw these for the horses to eat. How disgraceful. Does the food not fit to your taste, Father? I specially curated this royal meal for you. To control sugar levels, both grain syrup and honey were removed. The perfect royal meal. Please believe in your son. You will not gain weight. Germinated brown rice keeps you feeling full for a long time, and tofu is a helpful substitute for meat. But it's not delicious at all, is it? Father, forgive me for saying this, but didn't you agree to absolutely follow my words for the next 6 months? I learned from the Analects that a wise man regards promises as high as his life. I'm even prepared to take all my family members and be exiled for the rest of my life in 6 months. But can you not keep your premise for even 6 months? Who does he resemble for being so strong-headed? I moved the brush incorrectly, so have the paper manufactory send a new one, at your command. Having repeatedly done those lifts, I don't even have the power to hold the brush. It's been 2 weeks since I've been doing that thing he calls conducting oneself and preparing the body. But what is the meaning of all this? 33. Is anyone there? Bring me some SNA, Father. And oh, more midnight chicken. The calories. The calories. Stay strong. I apologize, Your Majesty. I wondered if something was up since you stopped between your words. Forget it. You may leave. That bastard might even appear in my dreams now. I can't perform my political duties because of that brat's exercise. Had I not promised him, I would have stopped this long ago. This is a big deal. His Majesty usually tells the attendants to leave because he snores. Doesn't he? Just 2 weeks ago, he couldn't breathe well and kept tossing and turning. The Emperor snored with peace, unaware he was curling dumbbells in his dreams. He dreamt of abs so chiseled, even the royal sculptors wept. Congratulations! In his dream, he flexed once. 3 provinces surrendered immediately. The result of 1 month of conducting oneself and preparing the body. Who's there? Is he asleep? What's that now? How did my second son look like again? And oh, did I even have a second son? Hi. Wait, are you saying that I'm married? When? Year 1434. You say? Isn't that the deadline for the armillary sphere production, you brat? Hehe. Hi, His Majesty. My Majesty. Once the self-striking water clock is done, he's gonna kick me out, isn't he? And no? Hi. I knew it. Aren't you the subject of His Majesty the King? Where did my life go wrong? Your Grace is your immeasurable Majesty. He. Huh? Your Highness the Grand Prince. Since when were you here? I apologize for showing an unfavorable side of myself. What brings you here? Second Deputy Commander Jang Youngshil.
Second Deputy Commander Jang Youngshil, a true genius who went from a slave to being promoted very quickly to the position of a third-rank official. As a royal engineer who contributed significantly to the development of Joseon, Sedong the Great. Even in modern times, he's often mentioned as an excellent scientist. But somehow his image looks different from what I imagined. I'd like you to make something for me. Vola, are scientists like this? POV of a history major. This is a royal order by His Majesty the King. Royal order. Royal order. Royal order. Royal order? Did I say something wrong? See, calm down. I haven't even gotten to the main point. By any chance, do you know about the regimen of conducting oneself and preparing the body? Whoa. Who wouldn't? I clearly saw how Your Highness looked at that time. Camilleville, you were truly amazing. This will make the talking fast then. His Majesty learning conducting oneself and preparing the body, but the problem is days are getting colder and he can't go outside. We must prepare for the upcoming winter too. Since he says he can't go outside. Device steps, I'd like to request you to create something that can make it feel like he's running in a field even when in the room. It's a device that I've never made in my life, so I need some time to understand it. I have a mountain of backlog work, so I may only be able to make it after a few years. Even if it's Jang Youngshil, it will be hard for him to reenact the treadmill of the modern day. I guess I'll have to find a better way if it's going to take that long. Because His Majesty is suffering greatly from conducting oneself and preparing the body. Thinking about the pain that His Majesty is going through, it may still be too early for him to use the steps device. The pain? Isn't the regimen of conducting oneself and preparing the body a method of making the body healthy? Don't get me started. The weights increase the higher the level. There were many times when I felt excruciating pain in my arms and legs, and my stomach turning upside down and vomiting. Even now, thinking about back then makes me shudder. Wait, is this thing called conducting oneself and preparing the body that agonizing? I'd like to refuse it if it were up to me, but ho, I have no choice but to get it done quickly because it's a royal command. Don't? I am going to draw the draft right away. Why don't you follow me? Huh? Didn't you just say it'd take a few years for you to start making it? If we make it with a wooden board like in the picture, it will break quickly, but if we make it with a steel board, it will be 10 times heavier. Unless it's someone as strong as you, it'll be difficult to even make it move. So this is the shape that I think. As expected. Very well. It'll take around 1 month, won't it? Without fancy decorations. 10 days will be enough. It only takes 10 days? You said you had a mountain of work to do. Since a royal order is strict, I must work until my bones break. Uder haha. Just leave it to me. 10 days later, so this is that thing you call the steps device. It's a relief to still be able to exercise inside the palace in the middle of winter. But I'm worried because father is the first one to use it. You don't need to worry too much, brother. I've tested it in advance, and there's no problem with the device function at all. How long has it been? It'd be nice if everyone was like you, but it hasn't been long since father started learning conducting oneself and preparing the body. It'd put my mind to rest if someone who usually does not train could try it in advance. I happen to know someone perfect for that. Don't tell me. Are you talking about me? You should not make jokes like that. I don't know about anyone else, but I resemble father in the sense that I detest exorcism. You? Is it enough now? It feels like 1 hour has passed since I'm using this. Only a quarter hour has passed. We still have another quarter left. Only that much time has passed? Why do I have to do the bench press too? To think someone with a good figure like yours isn't conducting oneself and preparing the body is such a pity. Just 3 more presses. Let's add 3 more. Is this brat set on butchering me? 12 added with 3 makes 15. But how could you want me to add 3 more to that? Your muscles tell me you can do it 3 more times, brother. Ark, I'm gonna send you to the teaching official and make him teach you how to count. Tell me honestly, I did 12 repetitions of squats earlier. But you're planning to deceive me like during the bench press and keep increasing the number. Aren't you? My calculation method changes depending on how your muscles look, brother. If you maintain the right position, the number will never increase. There's no calculation method like that in this world. Brother, your knees gave out. Again. Your back is tilted too far forward. Again. You please go back to your kind self before I can be an evil spirit for the sake of your body, brother. I'll take it that you'd be conducting oneself and preparing the body now. What? There are 15 minutes left now. The great King Sejong was out of breath even just by running 15 minutes at first, but now even 1 hour is easy for him. Brother too, who at first could only do 12 proper bench press reps. This family's talent is undoubtedly on a different level. The second deputy commander played a considerable role. It is already excellent that he could make the steps device with the technology of this era. I am asking this request. But he asked for a field study to find areas for improvement. Jang Youngshil, I was wondering if his image was different compared to the image in history, but as expected from the best scientist of Joseon, he's got an extraordinary sense of responsibility. Didn't His Majesty lose a lot of weight recently? I'm worried if he's sick or something. Is that all? He was so tired of exercising with Grand Prince Suyong that he didn't put the political affairs on the back burner. It is His Majesty's nature to learn any new subject of study so that he feels satisfied. Grand Prince Suyong is making good use of that trait. Everyone is speaking that way, Your Highness the Crown Prince. I didn't tell Your Highness in case you'd be worried, but His Majesty may have progressed to Sogol. To think his body has become so emaciated even before 3 months have passed. Please don't say things like that. Not only you, but I also lost some extra fat since I started exercising. Father is just going through the same thing. But isn't the symptom of Sogol also rapid loss of fat? That's, as expected. I can't believe this. To think the regimen for the body's health actually harms health. We must put up a remonstrance asking His Majesty to stop it at least today. What is all this fuss about? Your Majesty, I'm asking what is this fuss all about? Your Your Majesty, what is this fuss all about? We shall be taking our leave here. You. There is talk among ministers that father's transformation is a sign of his deteriorating health. I don't think you have to worry about it. According to the royal clinic records, he may be sweating a lot. Still, the amount of water consumed has actually decreased. But if it is really a symptom of Sogol, we're only halfway of the promised 6 months. Please wait and see, brother. Muscles do not betray. Time is going very fast. My life in the 21st century feels like a dream now. Isn't this His Highness the Grand Prince? You entered the office again even before. The sun rose this morning. Talk about yourself, Inspector General. What brings you so early here today? Hasn't His Majesty been complaining of fatigue recently and has less time to engage in political affairs? I came here to lift His Majesty's burden, even if it's just a little bit. You're working really hard. Inspector General, both you and I want to protect His Majesty's health. You don't know how relieved I am. Therefore, do you have any plans in conducting oneself and preparing the body? Unfortunately, I have important work to do. Therefore, I don't have the leisure to put my effort into your regimen. As someone who serves as an official, I can't only be thinking about my own safety, can I? But if you just spend 2 hours exercising, you'll be able to devote yourself even more to public service for the remaining 22 hours. I'm not as well versed as the Inspector General when it comes to affairs involving public service. It may be the opposite case. 22 hours of public service may be ruined due to those 2 hours. I'm just wishing the best for His Majesty's health too. The 6 months that you promised will be over soon too. Office of Inspector General, an organization that investigates the misconduct of all high-ranking officials and denounces them. Impeachment based on hearsay. High-ranking officials can be impeached even just based on rumors, not requiring evidence for a claim. It is okay to not provide any basis for their claim. See, they followed only the principles and were objects of fear to officials. Tomorrow is finally the day of the military training. You must make a decision now. Please reconsider, Your Majesty. What brings you in such a hurry here? Please stop the regimen of conducting oneself and preparing the body. All disciplines may take time to master. However, the severity of the issue is different. Your Majesty, political duties are more important than anything, and exercising is just a light matter. Although you have never neglected your political duties due to exercising, the king must always set an example for his officials and ministers. We are worried that you are learning a strange miscellaneous discipline and going against the established principles. That's the problem with you, Inspector General. Always asserting only your principles. At times, I wonder if you're showing your loyalty. Challenging the king. Principles, you say? The reason I learned conducting oneself and preparing the body is to improve my body and set an example at military training. No, it is too dangerous. Military training is a law created by the great King Taejo. If you are not good at horseback riding, you may fall in danger. Even young people take 1 year to shoot an arrow on top of a running horse. In that case, keep a soldier from the royal guards by my side to prevent accidents. If your posture is unstable, I won't even move forward, so don't worry. But if I set an example at the military training, the effectiveness of conducting oneself and preparing the body will be proven. So at that time, I hope you all do at least half of what I did. Your grace is immeasurable. Chorwon County, Gangwon Province. Day of military training. I will personally inspect the line and then carry out the military training. Make sure all soldiers move according to the suit. We must move in unison. Do you understand? Yes, Your Majesty. Has His Majesty ever moved so busily? He has participated in military training for over a decade, but I've never seen him that way. Even during the last military training, he only gave orders from the palanquin, didn't he? Then begin the military training. Beat the drum. March forward. It was worth riding the horse for 2 hours daily with that brat. That's right. I finally understand why Taejo, lying in the royal tombs, told me to enjoy horseback riding. After nurturing the body like this, it feels rewarding to step up into military training. Doesn't it? I never would have dreamed father riding the horse this intensely. How could I be seeing something so far away? The bow. Give me the bow and arrow. Yes, father. Are you not participating in the hunt with His Majesty, Inspector General? I have another prey, so you should go first. Grand Prince Suyang. I have no idea what you're planning by hiding your wicked nature of the past, but I have never forgotten about your vicious nature. You're the seed of trouble that will harm His Majesty. In essence, military training is training to prepare for war. And anything can happen in war. Anything. Grand Prince Suyang, you're the seed of trouble that will harm His Majesty. Then, got it. His Majesty has caught a wild boar. Congratulations, Your Majesty. It is as if we're seeing the military training of the great King Taejo. Father, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, are you alright? Are you hurt somewhere dash? Ha 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 ha. Father, never once have I ever hit the target with a bow. Ha ha had, but I'm only realizing the fun of horseback riding and hunting now that I'm older. Your Majesty, please take care of your body. Ha ha, I know. Your Majesty, you may live, for now. You've earned your life. For today. Father, please stand up carefully. I proved that conducting oneself and preparing the body is not a simple regimen. Now that I've done what you all said was impossible, it's your turn to keep your promise now. You all must become experts in conducting oneself and preparing the body now. We receive your command. Your Majesty, the first device out of the things you've asked is here. It is called lat pull-down. You've really worked hard. Then shall we? Hoop, hoop, hoop. How long has it been since I last did a set of lat pull-downs? What do you think, Your Highness? Sorry. I was gonna just test it out, but it happens to be a back day. This should greatly help train my back. I've learned a lot of things from Your Highness too. For example, like applying the method of using a moving pulley to another device. What? Jang Youngshil is learning from me? Come to think of it, the technology of moving pulleys wasn't widely used in this era, was it? I tried using the device, but it felt like my underarms would get torn apart. I shudder at the thought of the hardships His Majesty must endure while using this device. However, since it is a royal order, I have no other choice. Are you really doing this because you have no other choice? The next device would be the leg curl. Leg curl is easy to make, so 1 month should be enough to create it. You are going through a lot of trouble, Second Deputy Commander. I'll tell His Majesty to let you take a vacation once the leg curl production is complete. No, I am greatly indebted for His Majesty's kindness in letting me hold a governmental post from being a lowly slave. How would I dare to enjoy the luxury? Just by seeing His Highness conducting oneself and preparing the body, and recovering his health is very fulfilling to me. Moreover, the leg curl looked similar to a chair used when playing drums. I'm looking forward to how much pain. 1-to-1 mean health it'll bring His Majesty with that device. See, calm down. I'll have to ask His Majesty to let Jang Youngshil take a vacation. Your Highness the Grand Prince. How much longer are you going to keep His Majesty exercising? He's been exercising for 1 hour every day. If you do not follow the path I'm taking, you will be breaking your promise. Are you going to treat a promise with me as a piece of cake? That is such an unfair thing to say, Your Majesty. Your Highness. Please stop His Majesty and not just keep watching. Oh, who would dare to stop His Majesty? Ugh. There's no mistaking that he's taking revenge on the office of Inspector General for barging into his abode. If not that, my lord, are you all right? I'm done for. You all should at least run and chase after His Majesty. We'll go with you, even if we have to carry you on our back. My shoes are ripped apart. Please save us. I can only hear their moans as if they're going to fall over at any moment. Ow, you. Desirable to see this of Josian. A week after the military training, Inspector General Lee Suk-chi's house. Do you really have to go? What is the meaning of it now? Busybodies who don't even know what's going on are talking about demotion and exile as they please. I'm going to be 50 soon. It means it's hard for me to accept something new now. I must admit it now, that His Majesty really became healthy due to conducting oneself and preparing the body. Grand Prince Suyang too became a completely different person even from his eyes, unlike back then. Although it is not a part of primary affairs of the government, recently the movements of the Jurchen people have been unusual. I plan to go to Hamgyal province as their provincial governor and watch over them. Tell Grand Prince Suyang to be careful about the Ming Empire's Ministry of Rights visit. I've heard that during their last visit, eunuch Chongqing tried the soap and bought about 100 of them. Given the case, it is certain that those soaps have ended up in the hands of Wang Jin. Rumors say that Guy is raising a hungry ghost within his body. Someday he will surely approach Grand Prince Suyang. Primetime special. Was Grand Prince Suyang a time traveler? Last Mid-Autumn Harvest Festival holidays, the whole family gathered together to enjoy the traditional folk game of powerlifting. The grandfather was as happy as a child when his grandson lifted 20 kilograms more than last year. Conducting oneself and preparing the body took root in our country, starting from Grand Prince Suyang, the second son of King Sejong the Great. Traditional folk games weren't the only thing he developed. Grand Prince Suyang was also the first creator of soap and surgical spirit. Some even claim that he was a time traveler. Conducting oneself and preparing the body that Grand Prince Suyang created seems similar to modern bodybuilding. Li Daoan, director of Joseon History Archives. During his youth, he was competent to the point that he seemed like a time traveler, but he became more negligent of his duty as days passed. Experts also criticize him for that. Had he spread conducting oneself and preparing the body even further, it wouldn't have been simply a traditional folk game. Instead, it would have spread to the entire world and replaced bodybuilding. To sum it up, he is just a meaningless figure who only added a folk game to the cultural heritage of our country. Ha! What dream did you have that you're behaving prudently? You look very pale too. You'll have to reduce reading books for a bit. Yes, brother. That dream felt so real. There's no way I'd get caught for being a time traveler in the future. No, it certainly can happen. On top of that, if I don't work hard from now on, it's highly possible that I'll be criticized by future generations. But I'm about to die under this pile of books. I'm going to make a new set of characters for our people starting tomorrow. I can't say that you're excellent in studies, but with the passion of conducting oneself and preparing the body, there's nothing you cannot do, is there? Let's gather our strength and make it. You happens to know Sanskrit too, so it's a relief. We have a lot of books on phonetics, so it'll be of great help, aiding him in making proper sounds for the instruction of the people. I had a lot to prepare just for conducting oneself and preparing the body. You understand how I feel? But we three. Young prince now thinks that I'm someone who visits him only in the middle of the night. Your habit of sighing now resembles the second deputy commander Jang Youngshil. What do you think about looking into disciples? Didn't you say that you needed the roles of a trainer and assistant trainer? I think Ma Iliong is suitable for that role. Since he's the son of a concubine, he couldn't rise to the governmental position, but his abilities are outstanding. It'd be great if it were him, but it'd be better if there were people of various identities. Why do we need people of various identities? Aren't filial piety and talent much more critical in conducting oneself and preparing the body? No, we certainly need someone of high status. In order to perform conducting oneself and preparing the body at the East Palace, we must have a member of the royal family. A disciple that is a member of the royal family. I can only think of one person, but I don't know if he'd want to perform conducting oneself and preparing the body. Prince Season, the third son of the deposed Crown Prince Yangneong. Grand Prince Yangneong, who was the original crown prince during King Taejo's reign, committed several acts of corruption and infidelity while riding on the backs of the royal family. In the end, he was deposed, and the great King Sejong rose to the throne. I heard that Prince Season grew up doing scoundrel-like deeds. What brings you here to see me, brother? Prince Season, personal name, Hai, third son of Grand Prince Yangneong. He's more normal than I thought. I know the reason Prince Season went crazy was because his father, Grand Prince Yangneong, insulted his concubine. Is he still doing fine because that hasn't happened yet? Have you ever heard about conducting oneself and preparing the body? Yes, I know it's a new discipline founded by you, brother. Even His Majesty recommended it to the office of Inspector General. I'd like to take you in as my disciple and transfer the knowledge of conducting oneself and preparing the body. What do you say? I would just like to thank you for your consideration, brother. How refreshing. Mr. Ma. Yes, Your Highness. We shall begin after having you relax your body with a wooden bar. Don't come any closer. My head is hurting already with the smell of sweat. How dare you try to touch me with your dirty self? I'd love to learn conducting oneself and preparing the body. But I'm a member of the royal family too. Brother, how do you expect me to function with a lowly son of a concubine? What are you doing? And get down. At once. Ugh, hi. I really can't do it this time. I can't feel my thighs anymore. You're making such a fuss. Isn't it easy for Mr. Ma to carry 60 gun and even more? I was wrong. Please decrease the weight. Please, brother. As expected, the answer was right here. Haven't you been mistreated all your life? Because you have the blood of a deposed crown prince? How could you give him the same unfair treatment you experience regularly, when you know that such injustice would be compounded because Ma Iliong is a concubine's son? It's because, without doing such things, I can't bear the injustice done to me. What can I possibly achieve by learning this discipline, when elder brother and second elder brother are already more excellent than me in it? I've never been involved in government affairs, let alone held a government post. I've lived my entire life under the watchful eyes of others, with people worrying that I, with an impure heart, would threaten the throne. I can't do anything, and I am always frustrated. I remain anxious no matter what I try to do. Even so, as a member of the royal family, you ought not to behave like that. Don't you know how scary the wrath of a royal family is to a commoner? Ma Iliong, I was wrong. I will behave well in the future. Learn the 3 basics of bench press, squats, and deadlift from Mr. Ma. Once you reach a combined weight of 650 gun, I'll consider putting you in charge of conducting oneself and preparing the body inside the palace. Me? Conducting oneself and preparing the body in the palace? Hasn't His Majesty proved the effectiveness of conducting oneself and preparing the body himself? Someone who goes back and forth in the palace must master conducting oneself and preparing the body, just like the 4 books and 5 classics. The person teaching conducting oneself and preparing the body will be called trainer. I need someone other than me who can perform the conducting oneself and preparing the body hall in the East Palace. What do you think it is, if not being the king's teacher? If you rise to the position of the king's teacher, do you think the people around you can still point their fingers at you? Is there really hope for me? I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was so scared of the others' eyes that I haven't even learned the 13 classics. Mr. Ma and I will help you, and His Majesty is creating a new set of characters, which will immensely help learning the scriptures. The new characters were called the proper sounds for the instruction of the people. Our country's language is different from that of the Middle Kingdom, and many people cannot express their will. For this purpose, I am creating a set of 28 new characters out of compassion. This is a set of characters to teach the people correctly. Correctly engraving the voices of the people in itself will widely benefit the world. Father, young prince, what brings you here? Father, now I can carry the cat too. Oh, how amazing. But father, why is Uncle Jungo always lying down whenever I see him? The other day he was begging to have his life spared. Is he sick? There is no gain without pain. Muscles get sore while growing. Oh, Uncle Hai, you are amazing. Uncle Jungo is always lying down, but you're always sitting. It's nothing amazing. I'm starting later than the others, so I can't lie down even if I want to. Young prince, you should learn any discipline early. Then again, you're still 5, so it'll be too much for you to read any book. Are you talking about this, you brat? When did you learn how to read? Father gave me this book. Would you like to take a look too? Uncle? Ho, sure, let's do that. Come my son is already 5 years old. Is this even possible? My life was all about progressive overload, barbells and dumbbells. But my life from the modern era feels like a dream now. To think exercising will be my family's daily life. Hup, phew, this much is easy now. Huh? My wife. Are you all right? Yes. I couldn't keep myself together. My head suddenly felt dizzy and I failed to control my body. I feel nauseous too. She feels cruscus. Nauseous? This must be a temporary symptom caused by shortness of breath, which caused a reduction of the flow of air to the head. Don't tell me? Take a deep breath slowly. Fortunately, I was right beside her. Otherwise, she could have been injured seriously. The more people exercise, the more people will get injured. What should I do? Brother. There's someone I'd like you to meet. Huh? Who is it? His name is Woo Hyun-gyu. He passed the military service exam and worked as a private at the West Gates military garrison. That day, didn't you lift a huge piece of iron weighing 150 gun in one go? Rumors say that he challenged to lift a stone of similar weight too. He succeeded in lifting the stone that was the size of an adult body, but he fell forward after that. Later, he was fired because he couldn't straighten his back properly. I thought I'd heard his name somewhere before, but I remember it now. Discovered by Grand Prince Suyong after he succeeded in the coup d'état. Wu Zhang was the military officer who suppressed Esiae's rebellion. Are you telling me that a person who rose to a fairly high position and even received a military title was injured? Is it because I changed history? I heard that you cured His Majesty's Sogol. Won't it be generous of you if you help him since he is naturally a man of dauntless vigor? Had it not been for that man, Grand Prince Suyong, how could he turn a healthy man this way with impossible rumors? Woo Hyun-gyu pen name. Wu Zhang, former junior 9th rank military official. Fired after being injured. Watch your mouth. I heard that His Majesty learned a discipline he had created. Doesn't that mean he is at the same level as the chief scholar of Sankyangkwan? Nonsense. I'd like to ask Grand Prince Suyong if we ever meet. If he could really lift an iron weight of 250 gun above his head, how could he spread such nonsense and turn someone way? This chief scholar, my ass? Even a stray dog is smarter than him. Hey, it wasn't 250 gun, but 150 gun. Yoi eek. So you're Woo Hyun-gyu. Let's have a talk with me, will you? Shun. This is more serious than I thought. It looks like frequent meals to nurture his injured back caused him to gain weight. Scanning shoulders that keep getting hunched due to a weak core protruding belly. Even with a skinny body, I heard he didn't stop riding horses even after injury because his weight was increasing. It may no longer be possible to do anything about it. It seems to me that your condition has worsened since you continued to train despite being injured. Jen. Is there a way to cure this? There is. But I can't assure you that you will be cured completely. Would you trust and follow me? First, lunges. Hoop. Back stretching, Mackenzie exercises. Diligently train your body this way. Yes, I understand, but does this really train the body? Isn't it simply moving the body? About that. Unfortunately, I need to tell you this in advance. Even if you perform conducting oneself and preparing the body, you won't be able to lift heavy weights. Of course, it'll get better from now. But since you said it has been more than 1 year since you hurt your back, it seems like it'll be difficult to make a complete recovery. No way. Is there another way? Are you telling me to live this way without being able to act like a man? I'm ashamed to see my wife now. A wife. My wife. Are you all right? I couldn't keep myself together, so I'd like to ask you, Wu Zhang. I'd like you to find ways to cure yourself based on conducting oneself and preparing the body. Are you asking me to become a physician? I've never even read any medical books. Even physicians don't know about muscles in detail. That's why many people like you receive wrong prescriptions. A rehabilitation physician must understand the relationship between muscles and skeleton. I see. To think you'd be this deep thinking. I won't let anyone speak badly of His Highness now. A wheelie haha. I think everything will be fine as long as you keep your mouth shut. I think everything. By the way, I'm slowly gathering disciples. Stun Bear Brother. How long do I have to do this? Through the invention of Hangul, the concept of conducting oneself and preparing the body would spread rapidly. And at this rate, people would start exercising naked outdoors. I must find a fabric that anyone can easily buy and wear, regardless of whether they are nobles or commoners. Oh, you created this in a hurry, but it's not bad. It's a fabric that is easy to obtain, so even if it gets torn and dirty, it will be easy to wear again. Even so, isn't cotton mainly worn by commoners? There are other fabrics too, but why does it have to? What do you think, my wife? Good heavens. What kind of clothing is it? It's my first time seeing this type of clothing. This is an outfit exclusive for exercising, designed by me. Although it's just a normal t-shirt in the modern era, No matter what, I chose cotton because it'll be easy to obtain, and it's the most comfortable for athletic activities. But nobles might not want to wear it because they are unfamiliar with the texture. I was wrong. Judging by how you're moving, it looks like the perfect fabric for exercising. As expected, so that's what you think, my wife. Very well. Then, make some extra pieces using this pattern. Yes, your highness. Like that, cotton, which was often used by commoners, was used to make exercise suits. Oh my, is this what conducting oneself and preparing the body is all about? Jingwan Temple. Meijuk-hien. Aren't you too absorbed in your studies? It's 11 p.m. now, so you should return now. Song Sammun, scholar of Hall of Worthies, I lost myself again in books. Is it midnight already? You've been focusing more on your studies recently. Why is that? Shin Sukju, junior scholar. What do you think? A relative of the royal family is setting an example. We can't lose either, can we? Implying Grand Prince Suyang. Is that the book of conducting oneself and preparing the body? I just read it briefly, but I like the content. By the way, what is Dan Gye doing? There's something called push-ups in the book. Come to think of it, you disappeared at dawn and came back after bathing. By any chance, were you taking a run on the mountain path according to the book? I'd like to do that, but the path in Mount Buchan is steep, so it's hard to run. In return, I did rope skipping for warming up the body and driving away distracting thoughts. I don't think it's such an amazing book. Other than how to build a body, it's just a compilation of what we already know. You should not take lightly the book His Highness the Crown Prince sent us. Ha Weiji, junior scholar of the Hall of Worthies. Now, you're both very hot-blooded. Why don't we stop here for the day and discuss the book tomorrow afternoon? Would Dan Gye, the one who read the book the most, speak first? The discipline called conducting oneself and preparing the body believes that it is not enough to just cherish the body given to us by our parents, so it focuses on making it stronger. I still haven't done it, but hearing about it from Dan Gye, there's something I'm doubting about. A scripture contains the words of a wise sage, but was Grand Prince Suyang that kind of person? I think so too, and there's something else. The basic way to show filial piety is to rise in the world and gain fame, so what is the purpose of building the body? According to the first volume of Conducting Oneself and Preparing the Body, it is said that minor illnesses would disappear, and one would not get tired easily even in extreme heat and cold, but I'm doubtful if it's correct. While I do not think focusing on cause and effect is a bad thing, what bothers me more than anything is that it is a discipline that uses expensive hardware. It is said that the body can change correctly, but how many people have been transformed? Don't you know it too? This is Majesty. Don't tell me, are you guys trying to disdain His Majesty? There's no way we would. He rapidly transformed ever since learning conducting oneself and preparing the body. The eunuchs say he's even more active than during his youth. Not all theories of the book may be correct, but doesn't it definitely make the body stronger? If we immerse ourselves in a book all day and can still move normally the next day, won't it help with our studies too? Are you implying that we should bring the hardware into Jingwan Temple? If the situation is not conducive, we can use stones or logs of small weight. 15 kilograms, 20 kilograms. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. 8 days later. It's so hard that I can't take this anymore. What's so good about this? I can't take this any longer. In the end, everyone is quitting, huh? I saw people changing due to conducting oneself and preparing the body. So I'm going to perform it diligently and make a healthy body out of myself. August 1441, you've worked really hard. I thought creating a shoulder press device and seated row device would be difficult. It's all thanks to working day and night. Add more weight here, what will happen? Isn't it natural for a subject who receives a stipend to obey the royal orders? Men of the Office of Inspector General were the ones working hard, because they even provided resources to test the stability of the device. I came here to see the completed devices. Brother, Your Highness the Crown Prince, we would like to make a report, Your Highness. We have proven the stability of the devices. So please get on the device and perform the exercise. Would you let this go? I'm going to punish all of you. Should I have brother do the big 3 exercises while I'm at it? Brother, a bit more. Put in a bit more strength. Ark, Finally, you've raised the level of conducting oneself and preparing the body. Congratulations on reaching 500 gun of the big 3 exercises. It feels different being acknowledged by you. My body is quickly getting better, so it'll take around 1 year to reach 700 gun. Don't you think? We don't know for sure. Everyone's muscles grow at different rates, but for me, I have diligently grown my muscles to lift 800 gun for the big 3 exercises. Ever since then, my muscles haven't grown further. I possess the body of Grand Prince Suyang with tremendous talent and have already gained experience in the modern era. On the other hand, although brother is a descendant of the talented King Taejo, he lacks experience and skills. It would probably take 2 years at the shortest or 5 years at the longest for brother to reach 700 gun. But is it important if it takes 2 years or 5? The most important thing may be somewhere else. Brother, would you like to do another set? Haha, my wife. Are you alright? I made you worry. I have been having morning sickness for a while and can't even eat. I apologize, but there's meat I haven't had in a while. You're talking about pork. Come to think of it, you've only been eating beef and chicken that are not oily due to conducting oneself and preparing the body. I can't just stay still. Just wait. My wife, I'm going to get you some pork right away. Oh my, it will be used as meat for consumption, so show me the biggest one here. Absolutely, Your Highness. Here it is. Oho. Stop joking around and show it to me. Oh my, Your Highness. Why would I play some joke with you? Doesn't its flesh look so firm yet so puffy at the same time? Is there a better pig than this in the 8 provinces of Joseon? This is an adult pig? This? Your lowly subject, Kim Jong-seo, has defeated the northern barbarians and returned to the capital. Kim Jong-seo courtesy name. Kim Gukyeong, a tiger from the early Joseon dynasty who was good at both scholarly and military arts. It's been hard on you. It'll be winter soon, so even the barbarians won't be able to move around easily. It's all thanks to your immeasurable grace, Your Majesty. Can I pour you a drink in His Majesty's stead? Of course. I heard about your rumor, Your Highness. I think your presence can rival that of the greatest general in the world. Paul, you flatter me. I didn't build muscles to shoot a bow or swing a sword. Didn't you send a guy who was more trustworthy than a bow and a sword all the way to the north? A trustworthy guy? I'm talking about the spirit. I had my doubts when we suddenly received strong liquor from the capital, but they told us it was Your Highness' invention, and that we should use it to wipe the wound with a clean cotton cloth. Thanks to it, the number of soldiers with festering wounds decreased. So that's why there was no rust in the distiller. I can't believe it's being used so well. However, the fact that you sent a spirit was not necessarily a good thing. Northern soldiers always drink to drive away the cold. There have been many times when they got in trouble for drinking spirit. Now that I think about it, you get alcohol if you mix spirit with water. In the first place, soju as ingredients. How did you take care of it? We added motherwort, a bitter plant, to the spirit. After that, even if they tried to drink it secretly, they had no choice but to spit it out. Ha ha ha. Oh Lee Wonbong. Take a cup too. Huh? Wonbong. With his incredible strength, Wonbong also played an important role in subjugating the barbarians. No. I simply used my strength for His Majesty the King. Chinga courtesy name. Wonbong, a famous general in the early Joseon dynasty, who rose to fame under Kim Jong-seo. Now that 2 strong men have met, you two must have a lot to talk about. I have to go learn new writings from His Majesty. Nod Gantz. Trainers, I activated scanning. This is the first time since I came to Joseon that I have seen anyone whose physique can be compared to mine. An incredible martial artist. As per history, when Suyang ascended to the throne and was in danger of a purge, he tried to raise the military by gathering the Jurchens from Hamgyal province, but was said to be killed by his subordinate generals. In the end, the rebellion failed, but he is said to be the most powerful person in history in terms of strength. What's this? JJ, did he not come here because he had something to say? This is so awkward. Well, I guess it's understandable because if history goes the way it was, he would end up dying at my hands. Glance, the news of your mighty power spread all the way to the north, Your Highness. Haha. How embarrassing. I have a lot of questions about conducting oneself and preparing the body. Would it be alright if I visit your house later? Competing for strength here would make a lot of people feel uncomfortable. Did he say that out of consideration for me? Of course. This person may not be as bad as I thought. Is it His Highness the Grand Prince's house? Is he truly a human like us? I've already read Conducting Oneself and Preparing the Body. Is that thing called a small dumbbell? That's right. May I take a look at it? Since it's made of cast iron, please be careful as it is quite heavy. It definitely weighs a lot more than it looks. I can barely do dumbbell rows with a 25 gun small dumbbell, yet he's doing dumbbell curls with it? I heard that Your Highness used 1000 gun for the 3 major exercises. If I were to do the 3 major exercises, how much could I lift? Puff, arc. This definitely takes quite a bit of strength. I've been learning for 6 months, and I can't even dream of lifting that heavy yet. You are incredible. For someone who is doing body training for the first time, you can already lift 690 gun in the 3 major exercises. In this day and age, it wouldn't be strange if someone called this divine power. What's wrong? Is there something you don't like about conducting oneself and preparing the body? No. Thanks to it, I learned a lot about how to train my body. Please be honest. Since I came up with this study on my own, I think it has some shortcomings. His Majesty the King said that Grand Prince Suyang invented a method to perfect the body, and it could be used in military art. However, you are thinking that it would be difficult to use the conducting oneself and preparing the body in the military, right? When it comes to conducting oneself and preparing the body, the emphasis is on bulking up the muscles. But I don't think you need to be muscular to wield weapons. After all, you need a specific body type for using weapons. I've heard this a lot somewhere. Bodybuilding muscles are for decoration. That's some great insight. Please continue. Also, the book said to eat meat and get enough exercise. Would it be possible for average soldiers to eat meat daily? As military literature and academics have different paths. Conducting oneself and preparing the body can only be applied to academics. It isn't practical. So he's saying I don't know anything about military literature? Grand Prince Suyang may not be a military man, but Choi Youngjik, was a former member of the Korean military and a reserve sergeant before I transmigrated. I first learned about bodybuilding in the military as well. Within 3 years, I will invent a new conducting oneself and preparing the body schedule for soldiers. Is there something wrong, Father? It is a letter from the Ming Empire that they want to purchase about 100 soap bars. That's great news. It's worth having grown elodia trees, the material used to make soap. But they also want to see Grand Prince Suyang, the one who created the soap. I don't understand why they would want to see him, considering you has no connection with the Ming Empire. From what I heard, it was an eunuch from the Ministry of Rights. This has gone rather well. Among the royal members, you has a more open view than anyone else. How about we send him to the Ming Empire as our envoy? In just over a year since you began studying conducting oneself and preparing the body, you've already achieved the feat of lifting over a total of 500 guns in the 3 major exercises. It seems quite achievable for Yo to become an assistant trainer by next year. Really? In my opinion, I don't think I will even be able to catch up to His Highness the Crown Prince, let alone become an assistant trainer. Brother, do you remember when I tried to take in a concubine before? I guess so. You wanted to bring in a concubine. However, you gave up saying you wanted to focus on conducting oneself and preparing the body. Actually, I brought in a concubine again. People around me were apprehensive because I didn't have children. What? I see. Yes, that's why I ended up taking the daughter from the Yoon family of Hamyong. In this era, people usually have children before age 20. It is a prevalent practice to have a concubine if you are childless even after age 20. King Sejong the Great was also very concerned until Big Brother had his first child at 23. Is there a problem? About that. Peaked. Would you believe me if I told you that soon your father would attack your wife? So, I read your fortune based on the Book of Changes. It is said that if you take a second wife, a man-made disaster will befall her. A man-made disaster? Not a natural disaster, but a man-made one. Do you know how to prevent a man-made disaster? Using your physical strength, of course. 13 makes sense. Something like stopping a man-made disaster caused by a thief with your strength. but the method for a woman to develop her strength. There's one. Look carefully. This is the martial art that I will teach your concubine. Try grabbing my collar, brother. When you beat someone, don't you always try to grab them by the collar first? It's true that I have grabbed many people by the collar. I really didn't want to do this again, so let me apologize, brother. You're grabbing it well. The martial art I created is something like this? Eh? Kahook. What on earth just happened? You collapsed after I hit your joints. Since you just experienced the effectiveness of my martial arts in person, bring your concubine to the training field soon. As they are both women, my wife can teach her in my stead. Yes, brother. I understand. A few days later, I'm going to die. Okay, it's your turn to try. You need to use more strength, Lady Yoon. Now it's your turn again, my dear. Then, did you have any trouble learning it? Lady Yoon, Prince Season's concubine, yes. Thanks to you, I learned it without any problem. But why are you teaching me this? I'm sure it will be of great help someday. Haha. Alright. Since I've mastered it well, I will definitely use it when there is a thief. Time passed by. June 1442, Your Highness. Something terrible happened to His Highness the Grand Prince Yangneong. The day has finally come. It is said that he has been beaten by a family member. His left arm is broken, and his teeth are damaged. Even though she learned only the elementary self-defense art, she still managed to injure that Grand Prince Yangneong that seriously? What on earth happened? To think Prince Season studies this hard, what a surprise. New child, are you there? Bring me some tea. Yes, father. Father, your tea is her, you wench. Kyarg, you only know how to take care of your husband while you no longer feel the urge to take care of this old man anymore, do you? Did you bring the tea here after growing the tea leaves yourself? How much time has passed since I told you to bring it to me? You mannerless wank. Huh? Oh, Season has brought in quite a beautiful child. His taste in women is exactly like mine. Kyarg, no, don't do it. Please let go of me, father. Hyuk. Why you bitch? I told you not to come closer to me. When did I come close, Kyarf? Have you gone out of your mind? Kyarg, save me, you, Chief Inquisitor. Tell me what the Royal Investigation Bureau has discovered. Yes, Your Majesty. We have concluded that Grand Prince Yangneong was beaten by a concubine. He has suffered severe injuries. There's something I'd like to ask. How can concubine Yoon beat Prince Yangneong who knows martial arts? Hi, and you have trained concubine Yoon. Their techniques are meant to kill others. Even though I knew martial arts, I still ended up in this state. Had I been an ordinary person, I might have died. Please punish not just this wench, but also those who recklessly taught her those lethal techniques. Your Majesty. Ha! He always said I was his favorite nephew. But now I'm just a stranger. Huh? Is that true? Tell us in detail what has happened so far. Grand Prince Suyong. Your lowly subordinate, Grand Prince Suyong, only taught her self-defense art. I understand. First of all, rather than being a technique to kill people, it seems that the method invented by Grand Prince Suyong is a way to protect one's body. What do you all think? Who is at fault? I, your lowly subordinate, Chief State Counselor Huang Hui, think that, considering Grand Prince Yangneong's usual behavior, he may have tried to rape concubine Yoon and was beaten back. 3 nanometers. I, your lowly subordinate, Minister of Justice Ugyi Imun, is of the opinion that, although Grand Prince Yangneong's sin is great, concubine Yoon still harmed her father-in-law. This constitutes a crime of ethical violation. How troublesome. TSK. I am well aware of my brother's actions, but there are laws in the country. A person who commits a crime of ethical violation is punished as severely as treason. In other words, it's capital punishment. How troublesome. Concubine Yoon will be punished with 20 floggings. Implement it immediately. Yes, Your Majesty. 1. Tap tap. Ahem. Whoa. Paused, you bastard. What are you doing? Can't you hit her properly? A bitch like that needs to have her legs broken, so she can never look down on her father-in-law again. Out of the way. You useless bastard. I will do myself. That's enough, brother. What's going on? Ever since we were young, he has never been able to compete with me in strength. Why, Your Majesty, what's the meaning of this? How can you do this to me and let the wench who harmed her father-in-law get off unscathed like this? Why don't you shut up, brother? Do you want to spend the rest of your life in exile? Gurk. Our father, King Taejong, told me never to let you into the capital, but I took pity on you and allowed you to remain here. Even after you committed all kinds of evil deeds in Ikkian City, I was the one who tried to dissuade the other subjects from sending you into further exile. This will be the last time I show mercy, brother. What are you doing? Quickly place Grand Prince Yangneong under house arrest. Yes, your majesty. Let go of me, you bastards. Your majesty. You can't do this to me. Edu. How can you do this to me? Edu. King Sejong the Great's personal name. Your majesty, we will be continuing with the execution of the sentence. That's enough. You can untie her now. Your majesty. Your lowly subject, Prince Season, really doesn't know how to repay you for your immeasurable kindness. It's truly an unfortunate incident. I will prepare a new residence, so move there quickly. And you must have been going through a lot. So don't worry about anything now and just relax. Thanks for your grace, your majesty. So, not long after the house arrest incident of Grand Prince Yangneong, my second child, my daughter, Juhyun, was born safely. One day it was as peaceful as usual. Your Highness, you have a guest. He says this is his first visit to this place. A first-time visitor? Greetings, Your Highness. I'm Weiji, pen name Dan Gye, a member of the Jinju Ha lineage. Didn't we encounter each other often on the way to the Hall of Worthies? I heard you were doing temple study, so what are you doing here? What's more, your physique has changed so much that I almost didn't recognize you. My body was weak when I first started my temple study. After sitting around reading books for a long time, my back would hurt so much to the point that I couldn't sit any longer, so I started doing the conducting oneself and preparing the body. I felt like collapsing at first, but I got used to it after a while, so I wanted to come to say thank you. There's no need for that. It's not like I taught you anything. On that note, would it be alright if I join you in conducting oneself and preparing the body? Huh? I would have agreed in a heartbeat had it been somebody else, but Ha Weiji is one of the 6 martyred ministers. Ha Weiji is a man of great ability, so our country will suffer losses. I'm just worried that such a talented man like you seems to be taking an arduous path. Pardon? There is no need to worry. Compared to other friends, my talent is nothing special. Aren't the people you are comparing yourself to all geniuses? Do you truly want to become a trainer? Yes, I do. I have already told His Majesty the Lord that I am withdrawing from the Hall of Worthies. I am the new disciple, Ha Jiwi. It's my pleasure to meet you, senior brothers. All right. Although you have started your career as a government official, your experience in conducting oneself and preparing the body seems lacking. So come watch us and learn a lot. Yes? Please guide me. It's embarrassing, but I'd like to show you what I've accomplished so far. I'll start with pull-ups first. Huh? Pull-ups? Don't overdo it. It is difficult for those who are new to conducting oneself and preparing the body to do even one pull-up properly. I have studied it for half a year, but I still can only do 3 or 4 arghar, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why your arms aren't fully extended? It's the correct form that matters, not the numbers. 10, 11. Now that we have a new disciple, everyone seems to be fired up with passion. It will be a good stimulus for everyone. How spectacular. If we squeeze all those Euodia trees, we can easily get about 120,000 gun oil. Editor. 7,500 kilograms. We will be able to receive a lot of silver if we make soaps with that and sell them to the Ming Empire. I plan to acquire something more precious than silver on this trip to the Ming Empire. Something more precious? Yes. It is our country's future. Grand Prince Suyong's trip to the Ming Empire begins. I heard that you cured the back of a man named Wu Zhang through conducting oneself and preparing the body not long ago. The fact that you were able to successfully treat Sogol, a condition that even stumped physicians, truly fills me with pride. I shall reward you for your meritorious service. Your grace is immeasurable, Your Majesty. The projection of conducting oneself and preparing the body is good, so I am going to give you a task. Before you depart Empire to the Ming as our envoy, is it possible for you to pay a visit to the Chief State Counselor, Huang Hui, who requested his resignation last month. He said he was asking for his resignation because of his hunched back and dim eyes. We can't do anything about it if it's irreversible. But I'd like you to take a look at the Chief State Counselor. Regardless. Huh? Isn't this His Highness the Grand Prince? Ashuri. Come? Huh? The atmosphere is strange, though. I would like to apologize for having to lie down even when an esteemed guest like His Highness has come. That's what he is saying. Chief State Counselor, Huang Hui, age 79. I would like to serve His Majesty as he orders, huff, cuff. But ever since I reached the age of 70, my back started to hunch and limbs deteriorated, so I had no other choice. That's what he is saying. His Majesty has ordered me to care for your body, but seeing that you are having such a hard time, I don't know what to do either. A royal order is a royal order and you must know about your body the best. Ho ho, then you won't be able to play Go comfortably even with such a high-quality Go board. It seems like a good idea to let Sir Mengcheng use this beautiful Go board you. Huh? The Go board is warm. It's as if someone was just playing Go just a while ago. All I can say is that it's impossible to restore your body's aging with my power. However, I'd like to tell you about a way that helps in taking care of the body, rather than curing it. Moi, ho ho ho. To think you'd put such efforts for this old man, I feel apologetic that my body isn't following. Ho ho. I'm ashamed to meet His Majesty, but I'd use this exercise method to keep my body fit. That is what he is saying. I too hope that the Chief State Counselor can recover his health. Alright, it is a good idea to keep the room warm to protect the body. But anything too much will become poison. I was wondering why the room was so hot that even the Go board was warm, as if someone was playing Go just up until a while ago. Then I shall be taking my leave. The Chief State Counselor isn't in a critical condition, but as he is already very old, it is difficult to cure him with conducting oneself and preparing the body. It wouldn't have been this bad had we stepped in just 10 years earlier. How really unfortunate. Had he started conducting oneself and preparing the body early, he could have participated in government affairs for another 10 years. Chief State Counselor. I was thinking about a policy that could dramatically increase grain production. But 10 years ago, Chief State Counselor Huang Hui, age 69, I should have discussed more things with him when he had the energy. How good would it have been if he had learned conducting oneself and preparing the body from a young age? Is this what they call better to cultivate the young 100 years early? But how did it go with your disciples? I've gathered good disciples, and they're slowly showing their results. Not long ago, you met Kim Jong-seo of the northern area, right? It'd be good to think about a way to strengthen the soldiers of the north too. I understand, Your Majesty. How is the preparation for going to the Ming Empire as an envoy? Are you going to Hunan after stopping by Beijing? That's right. I heard that you plan to tour the Nanjing area and then take a boat back to Hangzhou. It seems like you have a goal of crossing half of Ming. One of my goals is livestock. The pigs of this era are frankly mini pigs. If I bring pigs from the Ming Empire, people will be able to consume protein regardless of their status. In China, meat always means pork. The pigs of the Ming Empire are certainly a breed that's easy to raise and gain weight. It's not enough if you're just trying to look for livestock. You must have another goal. As per the king's perspective, he'd be away from his son for about 1 year. So I thought he'd be easy to convince, but was I mistaken? The Ming Empire has a vast land and a large number of people, so I'd like to grow countless grains and vegetables. With that, I'd like to stop by Nanjing to pick up some books as well. Books, you say? Nanjing is a capital that has been passed down for generations from the Southern Song dynasty, so there are probably many rare books. Do you think the chief eunuch of the Ministry of Rights who selected you will help you on your journey? I do. If it is an offer is harmful to the country, he will reject it, but if it is beneficial, he will gladly assist in our journey. Wang Zhen is already someone who enjoys power to the extent that he is called father by the ministers. I haven't met him before, but he is a man of evil reputation. Be careful, yes, Your Majesty. Right, come to think of it, my granddaughter Juhyun was born not too long ago, right? Have you talked with your family members? Yes, of course. Then I'll be back, my wife. Father, even if it's a national affair, how could it take 1 year? How could you not even attend your daughter's daljabi? The others will hear my wife. His Majesty is too harsh too. Ho, people are staring, aren't they? Don't worry about your family. I'm gonna take care of them. Thank you, brothers. I look forward to seeing you when I get back. You brat, are you planning to exploit me too? Taking after the second deputy commander? Haha, of course not. By the way, I heard you got your first vacation in 15 years. It is all thanks to His Highness for bringing the subject to His Majesty. Kakik, father, look at this. This is too light for me now. Right, you brat, let's do some bench presses together once I come back. From conducting oneself and preparing the body to new livestock, books, and even grains. I'm curious about what's going on in your head now. I only have a small wish. I want to make this land, Joseon, where our people live, prosperous and strong, so that no one can take it lightly. How odd. Normally, the bigger your physique, the harder it is to catch a cold. I breathed in too much cold wind. I am sorry for not being strong enough, for our interpreter to be coughing like this. I have no excuse, Your Highness. I think I should use this opportunity to make him exercise properly and become healthy. Shin Sukju Hall of Worthy's Deputy Assistant Scribe Junior 6th rank. I can see land. The soap isn't moldy or damaged, right? We just checked. And they are all fine, Your Highness. Hall of Worthy Scholar Igi, the dry weather rather makes it better to use, Your Highness. Paggenk. Escort Vario Nambin. Good. They say that the Ming Empire is the center of the world. Let's verify with our own eyes whether this is true or not. Wow! Compared to Hanyang, which was relocated less than 50 years ago, the gap is enormous. I can't believe this was built by humans. You know, it's like we are looking at the Baekdudaegan mountain range, the height of which cannot be measured. These country bumpkins. Eunuch Chongqing, when can we have an audience with His Majesty? Oho. He is not someone with whom just anyone can have an audience. Only Grand Prince Suyang will receive an audience with His Majesty the Emperor. And about the date, it should take about 40 days. 40 days. That's right. By the way, are those the tributes you brought? Is there a problem? I tried using the soap some time ago, and it was quite effective. Even though it's still lacking, I'm glad you like our product. Since the existing soap was not fragrant enough, I've brought a specially improved product this time. Improved product? Doesn't that mean you won't have enough? We prepared 2,000 gun and brought some extra. Would you like to take a look? No, the scent of flowers and ginseng is faintly present. Did you say you've brought 2,000 gun of this? It's great to see a not-so-well-off country set such a great example like this. I heard that the second son of the Joseon king has the appearance of a brave general. Now that I see it, your wide-open shoulders and magnificent arms are just like the Verutica. Sir, what's it? Cracker about that. Does that make any sense? From the vassal country of Joseon. This lowly one, EU, greets you, Your Majesty. The world is at peace thanks to your immeasurable grace, and everything is singing your praise. My mouth hurts just from saying my greetings. I heard that Edu, the king of Joseon, had several outstanding sons. Ming Emperor Ingzong. The other day, when Eunuch Chongqing brought me the soap, all of the dirt on my body disappeared. The fact that you were the one who created this surprised me even more. It must have been hard to bring 2,000 gun of soap here. Let us discuss the future trade of soap in another place. Your grace is immeasurable. Then you may take your leave. Yes, Your Majesty. What's wrong with this atmosphere? What's going on? Seeing those urine-stinking bastards hanging out with the parasitic Joseon bumpkins TSK truly makes me sick. What's with this hostility? You are finally here. We've been waiting for you. It's my great honor to meet you. Thanks to your kindness, I met His Majesty the Emperor in just 10 days. It's truly our greatest blessing. Does that mean you know who this person is? According to a rumor we received, there was a magnanimous gentleman from the Ministry of Rights, and the subjects referred to him as Elder. I have heard many stories that the second son of the king of Joseon possesses a strong build, but it looks like he was also one with great intelligence. Thanks to the soap made in Joseon, I feel refreshed every day. In particular, I couldn't help but be impressed by the quality of the soap you brought this time. Tell me the price you want. It depends on the ingredients. One soap bar containing ginseng is worth 10 bags of rice. Scented soaps are a little cheaper and cost 6 bags of rice per piece. That means it would be about I silvertail for I gun. I see. In that case, how much does the manufacturing method cost? How shameless. Was acquiring 2,000 gun worth of soap not enough? Is he planning to steal the recipe as well? The soaps are made using the kelp from Hamgil Island. To think you would tell me that easily. Isn't it Josian's major export item? As a member of a vassal country, I am just doing my best to keep my manners. Still, to think it would be kelp. After the sea ban, the yield is practically non-existent. It's a shame, but please keep making the soap bars in Josian. At any rate, is it possible to increase the amount of soap and bring in as much scented soap as possible? Can you tell me how much you want? 10,000 gun. Editor, 3,750 kilograms. The new soaps need to have the same quality. Also, try to slowly increase the quantity as circumstances allow. Anyway, it's only right for you to know who you are dealing with. Don Josian King's second son, EU. My name is Wang Jin. Ministry of Rights Chief Eunuch Wang Jin.